Hey there, it's Leona. Welcome to Zen Mindfulness Shodo. Today, we are going to practice Shodo meditation while focusing on the Kanji character for 10. So, let's begin our beautiful journey together. When you write a character, imagine a square about the size of the character that you are going to write like this. First, I'm going to write it. Then I'm going to explain the points and tips for writing the character beautifully in detail. Now I'm gonna explain the process in detail. The way of writing the first horizontal stroke is almost the same as the kanji character 1. It starts from a point a bit to the left of the middle of the left half of the middle horizontal line, or a bit above that. Place the brush at about a 45-degree angle in this area. Without moving the brush's position on the paper, lightly press the brush towards its tip to fix it in place. Once fixed, draw a slightly upward curved line, moving to the right until the middle vertical line is in the middle of the stroke. The ending point is similar to the starting point. Without moving the brush's position on the paper, lightly press towards the tip. After you moved upward to the right, if you lift the brush off the paper quickly, the end point would look jagged. To avoid a jagged edge, pause slightly for about a second at the end. Don't press too hard to avoid creating a bump. Maintain the same brush pressure as during the stroke, just lightly pressing towards the tip. This should prevent bumps, blots, or enlargement at the end point. Although the line rises to the right, ease the angle after passing the middle vertical line. The right side should be less steep than the left, appearing almost parallel to the middle horizontal line. Don't draw a straight, steep line throughout. Start with the right upward angle on the left side. Then ease the angle after passing the middle vertical line. The end point should be higher than the lowest point of the starting point. If the end point is at the same height or lower, the entire character may appear less confident. So, try to pay attention to that as well. From the end point of the first stroke, the brush moves upward to the left. The second stroke starts from a height a little bit higher than the middle of the upper half of the middle vertical line. Place the brush at a 45-degree angle, similar to the first stroke's starting point. Fix the brush in place by lightly pressing towards the tip without moving its position on the paper, until the space above the starting point and the space below the ending point become almost the same size. Draw the vertical line down, like tracing the middle vertical line. For the ending, you can either lightly stop like the first stroke's ending point, or gradually lift the brush to create a tapered end like this sample character. I prefer the latter, creating a pointy end. But this is a matter of personal preference. Choose whichever style you like. The space to the left of the starting point of the first stroke and the space to the right of the ending point are roughly equal since the first stroke is created until the middle vertical line is in the middle of the stroke. Therefore, this character is centered in the square box, appearing balanced and neat overall. Visually, the vertical line below the first stroke should appear slightly longer than the part above it, due to the upward curve of the first stroke. This creates a balanced and pleasing appearance. The character 10 is quite a simple shape, so the main points are straightforward. For example, ensure the vertical line passes through the middle of the first stroke. If it's off-center, the whole character will look unbalanced. For instance, when the first stroke is like this, the second stroke might end up like this, and the first stroke is like this. The second stroke might look like this. Since these are examples, I intentionally wrote extreme ones. In the example on the left, the vertical line is shifted to the left and doesn't look it is passing through the middle of the first stroke. In this case, the horizontal part to the left of the second stroke appears shorter than the one on the right, making the entire character look unbalanced. On the other hand, in the example on the right, the horizontal part to the left of the second stroke appears longer than the one on the right, making the whole character look unbalanced as well. So make sure that the second stroke appears positioned around the middle of the first stroke. I'm gonna show 2 more examples here. Since these are examples, I wrote extreme ones again. In the example on the left, the part above and below the first stroke look about the same length. In the example on the right, the part below the first stroke appears shorter than the part above it. If you write this kanji character 10 like these, when the vertical line looks shorter than the horizontal line, the entire character might appear like a wide rectangular shape. Therefore, when the vertical part below the first stroke appears a bit longer than the part above it, the whole character looks well balanced and beautiful, in my opinion. Practicing in a square box like this can help you internalize these proportions. If you start the first stroke at about the height of the middle horizontal line, and try to leave about the same size space all around the character, the shape of the character 10 will end up similar to this shape. Once you've got the feel for it, you can practice on blank paper, aiming for the same balanced proportions. Try practicing with these points and tips in mind. The key points and tips for writing kanji beautifully, as explained in the video, are concisely summarized in this book. Additionally, easily understandable Zen mindsets and philosophical messages are shared in this book. For those who want to practice directly in this book, I've also prepared a workbook. The writing tips and techniques are the same as in the Zen Mindfulness Shodo book. Each page allows you to practice one character. If you're interested, please see the description. When you practice with a brush, I recommend that you place a few pieces of paper under the page that you're writing on, so that the ink doesn't bleed onto the page under it. Alright, let's get started.